Well, good evening, my lovelies. And I just thought I'd pop on just for 5 little minutes of your precious time, just to, I think we'll be turning that down, won't we? Oh, my goodness me, yes. Yeah, it's the last day of the month. It's the 31st of March, and I thought I'd just pop along for 10 minutes or so just to welcome in the new month with you and wish you all the very best for April. I hope it's a splendiferous month for you, and you've got so much to look forward to, haven't you? My goodness gracious me. There's the Project Nigel meetup coming up on Sunday. Oh, I know you're all looking forward to that. And then next week, Pride of Longbridge, of course. And the week after that, Sunday lunch with me. And, and Easter and the rebirth of Jesus Christ and lots of chocolate eggs. I mean, you don't get much better than that, do you? Hello, Mike. Jimmy Quinn. Hello, Matt. Hello. Jazz Brown. Mickey Jeffries. What a joy to see you here. Bad Books, of course. Mike, Classic Wheels, Wales. Simone is with us, and Simone lets us know that on Monday it is her birthday. Yet another anniversary of her 21st. Well, not yet another. I mean, she's only a fetus, really, isn't she? Absolutely. She's assuming the position, fetus firstus. So, happy birthday for Monday, Simone. I'm sorry you live a bit too remotely for us to nip round and give you the bumps, but hope you have a fabulous day. What have you got planned? Are you working? Do you have plans? Will there be jelly and trifle? We need to know these things, do we not? Evening boat, says General Cheeseburger, and then immediately follows that up without even pausing for breath to say, happy birthday, Simone. And somebody has just sent me a lovely picture, and that's nice. It's always very nice to receive a picture just before the launch of a new month. In fact, it's a screenshot, which is a particularly interesting type of picture, isn't it, Mike? I suffer from that as well, or at least I did until this year. So what I tend to do is I tend to go away for my birthday and have a little celebration all on my own. Yes, it was buffering. I've fed the hamsters, don't you worry, Mickey. A very jolly good evening, Boaty and everyone, says Spotty Botty. That's a good question from Skick. Let's ask this. Simone, if you could wave a magic wand, within reason, what would you like to happen for your birthday? That's a really good question. Well done, Skick. And Cheeseburger says that it's his father-in-law's birthday today, 1st of April. Well, that's not today. Technically it is today. 83 today. Well, bless my barnacles. Fair play to him. 83, splendid. Right, we are now officially into April 2023. So, White Rabbits, Pinch Punch, first of the month, and a very big cheers to you all. May the month bring us light, warmth, lower heating bills, and general joy. Your very good health, darlings. Simon has joined us and says, "Oh," with an exclamation mark. I didn't see a live notification. And neither did anybody else, Simon. And yet, you're all here. How wonderful is that? Mike says, and Mike of course is Classic Wheels Wales, Mike says, Mustard's live stream was brilliant. And unfortunately, I missed nearly all of it. I got there just before the end, but I'm sure it was splendid as always. Captain Mustard is a first-class broadcaster, professional, witty, urbane, windswept and interesting, and his live streams are never anything less than ultimately incredibly satisfying. I was there in time for the story about the trolleys, and I was very glad about that. I love his trolley stories. Do you know that feeling when just somebody talks about something that they're passionate about, that they believe in, and you feel so empathetic towards them, you just want to cuddle them? That's how I feel when Mustard talks about his issues with supermarket car parks. They are troublesome for him, and he does become very passionate about that. But I love that he's able to be open with us and share his passion and his frustrations, and it makes him strangely vulnerable, which in a way makes him even more attractive. Ooh, what? I should rub it up. In answer to our question, Simone says, I would like to no longer be single. That would be nice. I would slightly alter that. That could be nice, but it could also be bloody disastrous. For those who don't know, I run the UK Singles Network, a large network dedicated towards supporting people in living their best single life, and as well helping them not to be single by life coaching, dating coaching, relationship coaching, and providing opportunities to meet people of the gender of their preference. And I've just launched a YouTube channel for it, and I'm going to be wittering on that YouTube channel about exactly this sort of thing, that not being single is not necessarily an immediate and absolute cure for unhappiness. I would argue that if you can't be happy when you're single, you will not be happy in a relationship, because you will be placing your happiness in the hands of another person, and that other person may not be trustworthy or qualified to. In fact, no other person should have to have that heavy duty. Nobody other than you should be responsible for your happiness. That's what I think. We just slipped into April. I hope we have a consent. We did indeed, Matt. And Mustard is with us. How lovely. I did enjoy your live stream, Mustard. Hello, you too, he says, with a double exclamation mark. Now, I had to read that very carefully, because if I hadn't read it very carefully, I might have thought that said, hello, you tool. But no, that's just me being silly. It said, hello, you too, in response to my saying hello to him and anybody else who happens to be watching this. I have a very all-encompassing attitude towards saying hello to people. I like to say hello to complete strangers, just to discombobulate them. Oh, hello, Max is with us. Rocket Max, Elton John show, who I watch Max's posts with great interest, his social media posts, because he's hobnobbing around the world on beautiful cruise ships, and that means that I get to live my performing days over again vicariously through him. So a very good evening to you too, Max. Bad Book says, classic Wheels Wales, including the tit vibrating his phone. I read something about that. Something about on Mustard's live stream, his phone kept vibrating. Or do we know if it was his phone? Personally, I think, now I could be wrong, and I don't want to cast aspersions, I think what happened is he left a marital aid that he was planning to use, you know, later on in the evening. He left it on the table, and I don't know what happened. Maybe it got a bit damp and the battery shorted out and it started operating itself. But because he was live streaming, he was obviously not able to reach out and grab the marital aid and twist the thing or press it or whatever it is that you have to do with those things. I wouldn't know about any of that sort of thing. I'm not a hairy pervert. And Ivor Spotty Botty also wishes Simone a happy birthday for Monday, which is lovely. Cheeseburger crosses his fingers that Simone will not be single for too much longer. No more misering bastards for free for me, says Skick. I love freedom. And if you've been in one or more dodgy relationships, then there is a sense of freedom. And I think it's very important that you grasp that and that you take control of your own life and that you learn to love yourself and your own life and learn about yourself and learn lessons from history, whether that's lessons about yourself or lessons about other people. And do all of that before you think about jumping headfirst into another relationship. Right. Have a good stream all, says Simon. See you all later. Cheers, Simon. Catch you later, mate. Jimmy Quinn, oh dear. Jimmy Quinn says, my wife's birthday today, which is lovely, but his dad died on the 1st of April at 2 minutes past midnight. That's, yeah, that is a sad thing, Jimmy. So our condolences on the sad anniversary. There's another hidden message, and it's from Mustard. Oh, well, this is strange. Captain Mustard seems to be accusing me of telephoning him, trying to make contact via his portable electric telephone. I'm sure I don't recall doing that. I don't think it was me, mate. I was too busy chatting to Mike on WhatsApp. Far too busy for any of that sort of shenanigans. I believe that Mustard is eccentric, says Skick. Well, I agree with that, but in a nice way. Yeah, he's absolutely eccentric in a nice way. I mean, he's, oh, hello, I'm being pinged, how lovely. Let's have a look at this. I always think that an incoming message or communication from outside during a live stream really adds to the sense of jeopardy of the live stream. So let's, good God, why is, oh no, we'll cancel that. We'll have a look at, oh right, you need my face, don't you? Let's have a look at the nature of this message, shall we? That'll be so much more interesting than simply ignoring it. And it's a lovely message from Mike, Classic Wheels Wales, who says, how lovely it is to share the very beginning of April with you. It was a joy to meet you, and I'm glad that you're part of my life. And I feel exactly the same way about you, Mike, and indeed everybody else out there within our rather special little community. And yeah, oh, I have another message. I'm going to play this for you, my loves. Bear with. Let me just open it up for you. Where are we now? Ah, here we are. Right, let's play this little message for you that somebody has very kindly sent me. I'll turn the volume up for this. Here we go.
Hello, my lovelies. Whenever I hear Boaty speak, I touch myself intimately. Right now I am stroking my melons. Whoops, my pants have fallen down.
Oh, well, wasn't that a lovely message? How very nice. And that was from Lisa Postlethwaite. And I appreciate that message very much, Lisa. Let's turn you back down a bit. Yeah, what a delightful message that was. I've also had a message from Captain Mustard, which is, hang on, let me just find that. It's a lovely message from Captain Mustard, who says, can't wait to see you on Monday. So excited about recording episode 2. And I feel exactly the same way, Captain. And it's really kind of you to let me know live at this point so that I can share it with all of our friends. That's a really, it's quite an intimate moment we've just had there, isn't it? And I, for one, feel better for it. Now then, let's catch up with some comments, shall we? Simone says, Boaty, how long is too long not to have a good podger? Well, that's a really interesting question, Simone. Now, I'm going to answer that honestly. I can't remember what age you are, but obviously I know that you're considerably younger than me. So, yeah, how long is too long to go without a poddering? Now, I don't have the drive that I had when I was a younger man. I couldn't go a day when I was younger, but I'm an old man now. I have other things in my life. My testosterone levels have presumably diminished, and I am not driven by my underpant region anymore. I will freely admit that for a long time I was, too long. Much too long, actually, but no longer. So, obviously, it's going to be an individual thing as to how long is too long. Me personally, I would say, speaking as an old man, I would say 2 weeks. Yeah, about a fortnight. Maybe 3 weeks if you're doing something really interesting. But let's open that up to everybody. If you're comfortable answering this question, feel free to ignore it if you're not. But how long would you be comfortable going without a bit of the other? How long before it started to be... I do apologise. How long before it started to become a problem for you? Yes, Boat, you have mentioned singles before, says Skick. A good podger, asks underscore. Maybe lower your standards to an average one. If it's longer than 15 years, you have problems, says Cheeseburger. Miley Cyrus has it about right. I don't know what that means. Stephen S. Paul says, I'm the happiest single you'll ever see. And that's great to hear. Being single shouldn't be an automatic ticket to unhappiness. Far from it. Good evening, Admiral Boaty McFaceface, says Pingu Concord, and good evening to you. If you weren't a single, would you be an EP or an LP, asks Matt, and that's a joke. Hooked on Classics, Simone says, I've been single since 2007. Well, here's another subject matter. Okay, being single doesn't necessarily have to mean going without, does it? You can be single. So what is your attitude, and this is a question to everybody, what is your attitude towards casual encounters or sports sex or friends with benefits, however you wish to term it? If you're single, do you have a moral duty to also be celibate? Or is it acceptable when you're single to have various ways and means of, how can I put this delicately, getting a bit? I'd be interested to hear your opinions. That's an interesting topic for discussion, I feel. Liz is with us and says, hello, everyone. Is this a buzzing rabbit-free zone? It is, Liz. It absolutely is. I will admit, Windy Bottom, my little cottage here in the Peak District, it's not entirely devoid of adult toys or marital aids, but they're not here. They're not here in the live stream area. They're up in the drawer of disgust. So there are none here, and they will not interrupt my live stream. Far be it from you to cast aspersions, says Bad Books. Quite right. Did I miss a riot last night, asks Cheeseburger. If you're talking about my live stream, then yeah, you kind of did. Liz says, happy birthday for Monday, Simone, and it's my birthday too. My goodness me, a double birthday. We should do something to celebrate. We should meet up on the Severn Bridge and have a party. I don't know why we should have a party on the Severn Bridge, but it just seemed like a fun idea. And I suppose it depends which Severn Bridge, because I don't think you can walk across the new one, can you? Is that because Mustard has 100 and... Oh, my old eyes. Is that because Mustard has 150 missed calls from your number? Asked Bad Books. No idea what you're talking about there. Mike and Boaty need to get a room, says Cheeseburger. Yeah, you're right. We need to get a room in a restaurant where we eat some beautiful food and drink just the right amount of too much alcohol. There are happy birthdays flying around. I don't think Mustard's message said that, says Bad Books. Let me just double check. Oh, he has added a further message. And he said, I would just like to double up on the sentiments that I expressed previously. And what a lovely thing to say. You know, to send a beautiful, meaningful message and then to send another message saying, I would like to double up on those sentiments. And I really appreciate that, Mustard, honestly. And on Monday, I will shake you by the hand because my hand is my heart. Now then, 2 days is too long, says Mustard. Well, gosh. Well, there you go. That shows you how much more driven Mustard is than I. Mustard and I are the same age. He can't cope with 2 days, whereas I could cope with 2 weeks. I prefer not to. Mustard has always said that I'm something of a weekly man. And in a way now he's right because, I'm about once weekly, twice with a bit of advance notice. But 2 days, oh no. Those days are gone for me. I have to gracefully accept that I'm not as young as I used to be. And right, I've missed a couple here. Hold on. Hold on, let's scroll back. I'll do this professionally. Happy birthday, Liz, says Cheeseburger. And Cheeseburger also says, Boaty has been impacted by Project Drive. Things are falling off and not working properly. Yeah, I will freely admit I am in the Project Drive part of my life. Vernon K. Podgers Daily. Which Daily? Daily Thompson? Yes, 2 weeks, Mustard. 2 weeks. A week, ideally, but, you know, if I had to go 2 weeks, I could cope. I wouldn't start turning into a funny shape or abusing myself or anything of that nature. It'll happen to you at some point, mate. I think I used up all of my turns too soon. I was still the same. I was still absolutely animalistic until I was about late 40s, and then suddenly, imperceptibly, it started to tail off a bit, which, to be honest, is a relief. When you spent all your life being driven by your underpants. Now, I've always given my underpant region an element of autonomy, by which I really mean that I disassociated myself from the actions of that department, because frankly, my underpant region was beastly, immoral, and, you know, I wasn't proud of it particularly. Well, I was proud of it in a way. I mean, it was, you know, it was quite formidable, but morally, I wasn't particularly proud of it. Isn't there a flock of sheep opposite Boaty's cottage? There is indeed. First thing I see when I wake up in the morning and open my eyes. Is Boaty a pimp, asks Cheeseburger? Not anymore. Skick says, at my time of life, I'm only interested in oral sex. I just like talking about it. I hear you. Draught of disgust or draught of despair, asks Cheeseburger. It doubles as both. I have no friends with benefits, says Simone, and had bad experiences with online dating. I think most people have had bad experiences with online dating. Again, judging from the talk in the singles network, people don't have a good word to say about it. Whereas I have had nothing but, well, I've had a couple of bad experiences, but on the whole, I found online dating to be an absolutely tremendous thing. Bit of a game changer, really. Pingu Concord asks, which one of the A-team do you most relate to, and who do you think Mustard is both like? I can answer that one quickly and simply. I would be Hannibal, Mustard would be Howling Mad Murdoch. Do you think Manic Richie Edwards jumped off the old Severn Bridge? I've not a clue, don't know who he is. Okay, Boaty, how old are you then? Asked Simone. Well, I'm nearly dead, Simone. I am... How old am I? Hang on, let me work it out. Christ above. I am 52. Jesus, that's scary. I'm the same age as really old people who should be dead. Fucking hell, 52. Terrifying. Don't forget to check out Shakin' Stephen's new hit single, He's the Welsh Elvis. He certainly is, and he's from one valley over from me. Once weekly, we need to bring Chinese Madam into the conversation. Yeah, well, that wasn't through choice, was it? Yeah. Chinese Madam, of course, was at her peak in that department. So, you know, once daily was a problem to Chinese Madam. You know, sometimes the flesh is willing, but the spirit is weak. And you suddenly understand that old adage of, you know, ladies just looking up at the ceiling or reading a book over the man's heaving shoulder. and you never think it would happen to you, and then suddenly it does. And when you're into about the 27th consecutive day, you think, oh Christ, just leave me alone. I'd rather just go down and have breakfast, I really would. Shaking Stevens, let's talk about that, okay? Let's talk about it. He was right about that house. It did need some fixing up. It certainly did, behind the green door. Let's not talk about Shaking Stevens, says Mike. Hello and hugs to Spotty Butty. Mike is Welsh, so you must know him. I used to live next door to him, Mustard. Shaky's first hit was Hot Dog. What's his real name? Oh, good question. Michael, can't remember. Shakin' Stevens was the biggest selling artist of 82 and 83. His name was Shane something, I believe, says Windy Miller. Oh, I didn't think it was. I thought it was Michael. He wore blue jeans, which is lovely. And we know who else was forever in blue jeans, don't we? Mr. Neil Diamond, who's still alive, and fair play to him for that. I have bad experiences of online dating, says Cheeseburger. The wife found out. Has man been to the moon, asks Skick. Well, I can answer that one quite simply. Not every man has, but some have. Michael Barrett, that's right, Mickey Jeffrey is quite correct. See, I knew it was Michael. And Simone says, I am 47 on Monday. You are a mere fetus, Simone. Bloody enjoy yourself. Don't begrudge growing older, and don't waste a single day wishing that things were different. Make the most of things as they are now. Make the best of every second of life. And if you think that you would like a relationship, then genuinely, and I mean genuinely, positively work towards it, right? Again, I keep banging on about it. I run a singles network, and I have got in another group just over there, I've got 11,000 people who all want not to be single. What are they doing about it? They're going on a group and saying, I wish I wasn't single. That is not how it works. I look at online dating adverts and they're invariably rubbish. I look at how people behave in singles groups. It's crap. If you're going for a job, right, you make an effort. You make a real effort because you want to get that job. And yet, when it comes to online dating or trying to find dates or anything like that, oh dear, people put zero effort in, they do a half-assed job, and then they wonder why they're still single. It's absolutely extraordinary. And that's why I'm starting this YouTube channel. I'm going to show people, or no, that sounds a bit, that's a bit immodest, isn't it? Or a bit arrogant. It's not for me to show people. Who says that I've got any of the answers? But to throw some ideas into the ring of how people could give themselves a better chance of not being single. Liz is 55 on Monday. We're all about the same, aren't we, really? Mustard is 63, but it doesn't say when. 52, Stanley Matthews was still playing for England at that stage. Was he? Well, that wouldn't surprise me, actually. Boaty is 43, says Nigel, and Project Nigel, Captain Mustard. And he's being kind because he knows perfectly well that although I may act 33 and look 43, I really am actually 52. Ivor Spotty Butty is 53 in a couple of weeks, again about the same age. I'm listening to your sexual problems, says General Cheeseburger. Do you suffer from premature ejaculation? No, I don't, Cheeseburger. In fact, quite the opposite. Honestly, I wish I did. You know, there have been occasions where I would have been glad to get it over with a bit quicker. You know, you get to a certain point where you think, well, that's enough really now, isn't it? But your little chap doesn't listen and just keeps on. Is anyone here younger than 45, asks Pingu. Not according to my YouTube analytics, no. Nobody is under 45 who watches anything that I do. Light your candle, Boaty. Oh, it's too late, I forgot about it. Am I going to be the oldest here, asks Liz. For fuck's sake, no, I don't think so. Does anyone here have their own teeth, asks Cheeseburger. I've got a couple left. I mean, they won't be there for long, but I'm clinging on to a couple. Ask me again next Christmas. I guarantee you the answer will be no. Oh God, scary, isn't it? Getting old. 66 here, says Mickey Jeffries. Shaky has black hair, which is also nice. Yep, absolutely. Shakin Stevens has his own teeth. He's got the receipt to prove it. Careful, Simone, says Matt. He's grooming you for his dogging website. I haven't got a dogging website. Maybe I should start one. I am becoming increasingly interested with dogging. Not in actually attending one, just in the concept generally and why people would do it. I have all my own teeth, says Mickey. All 8 of them. God, you've got 8. Bloody hell, you're doing well. How did you manage that? God, imagine that, having 8 teeth. You lucky sod. I've got tooth jealousy. Oh, Liz has got all her own teeth. About the only thing going for her. No, it isn't, Liz. Suddenly I feel very young at 22, says Thomas. Even my card is older than me. Thomas, I've got underpants that are older than you, mate. Shakin Stevens looks like the sort of man who would own a building company. Oh, Matt. Matt. Naughty step. Go on, off you go. You know what you've done. You know I can't read that out. Go on. I don't like dogging, says Simone. I like cats. Well, are the two mutually exclusive? You could always have a cat on the back seat. I like cats too, says Mustard. Wendy Miller, sometimes you are just worth your weight in gold. What's your favourite Shakin Stevens album? Mine is the best of Shakin Stevens. So, Boaty likes tantric sex. I don't really know what that is. I know Sting used to bang on about it, or tantric wanks or something that used to go on for weeks on end. I don't know what it is. I think that all young men, when they first go on their little sexual journey, all young men go through a phase initially where where they read the book Premature Ejaculation in 3 Easy Steps, pump, pump, squirt, and they develop techniques for avoiding said happenstance, and then I don't know what happens then. Obviously, it becomes inculcated into you, and it just goes on too long. Well, I mean, it does now. It didn't used to. Even relatively recently. I mean, God, it's not that long ago since Bernard and I did a 10-hour session. I almost said something then, and that would have been oversharing, wouldn't it? So I'm kind of glad I didn't. I think I'm the oldest, says Jimmy Quinn. He cooks a meal in between. I have done that. I've often done that. I've often called a half-time break and made some food and then got back at it. I did that in mine and Bernard's 10-hour session. In fact, I didn't even cook food. We went to we went to the local pub, the local beefeater. Just threw some clothes. We were starving. We'd start. Oh God, this was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and we'd cracked off at about 10 o'clock in the morning. So we went and got some grub, and then we went back to bed. You can't be breeding if you don't put your seed in. And washes his cars. No, I don't wash my cars. People go on about Bob Dylan, but they never mention Shaky. Jimmy Quinn is 66. Do you like red wine? Asked Mr. Matthew. And if that's aimed at me, no, I can't drink it. I'm allergic. Simone still has her teeth. Well done, you. Oh, Matt's already on the naughty step. He puts himself there. He's been trying to get the pottering harness patented. Oh, and a compliment on Simone's teeth from General Cheeseburger. No, I'm not reading that one. I'll read this one. I wonder what Shaking Stevens is like in the sack. They say dancing prowess is an indicator of sexual proficiency, so he must be quite outstanding. Quite possibly. It sounds like your penis is as efficient as Rover's washer pump. Local beefeater, did you finish with curtains? Oh dear. And right, I appear to have caught up with the comments, and we've welcomed April in, which is wonderful, and we're all excited about what April is going to bring us. And I've got to pack some gloves up and take them to the post box, and I've got to make supper, and I've got a video to edit. And did you all enjoy Lisa Postlethwaite's message, by the way? I was very pleased with that. I knew that was coming. I knew that joke was coming. Who was it? Bad Books. Yeah, I set that one up. I was going to do it myself, and then I thought, no, you're better than that. So I didn't. But clearly you have lower standards, and you just went for it. Oh dear. So there we are. I think we're coming to the end of our Friday night, and it's been really most enjoyable. Oh, I need to do this in a separate video. If anybody knows of an automatic Ford S-Max diesel for $3,000 or under, please let me know. I'm looking for one. Not for me, for somebody else. Have you got any chicken, Boat? Asked Skick. Yeah, I've got loads of chicken. Why, do you want some? I've got shed loads. I always have chicken. Lots of stocks. So, it really has come to that point in the evening where I should put my hat on. Oh, chicken. Not chicken, children. Ah, sorry. Have you got any children? Asked Skick. No. Yeah, well, no. No, I don't have any biological children. I raised my wife's 4 children from a young age, and I thought 4 was enough. We didn't need any more. And before I was married, obviously when I was with Lise, then and we were getting married, I was going through the process of adopting Lisa's daughter. And since being married, of course, I had quite a long relationship with Boo, and that meant being a stepdad to little Miss Jess, who I miss more than words can say. And unfortunately, she's not allowed to see me much as she wants to, and I'm not allowed to see her much as I want to. And that is, we've talked about this before, but Skip, that's the downside of becoming a stepdad. If the relationship goes tits up and you become a nothing, you know, a dad will always be a dad. You never become an ex-dad. But if you're a stepdad, no matter how close you are, no matter how loving the relationship is, as soon as that relationship finishes or that marriage ends, you are nothing, and that's a really sad thing. You know, to dedicate your life to to the people that you think of and treat as your children, and then suddenly, literally overnight, they disappear from your life. That's quite a hard thing to deal with, but worse things happen at sea. Automatic diesel shitbox. Good luck, says Cheeseburger. I have found one. There's one in Telford at a dealer's. It's a cat, but it was only minor bumper damage. And that's a 10 plate. It needs to be pre-power shift gearbox, because obviously anybody who knows anything about these things knows that the power shift gearbox is just going to, it's going to break. It's when rather than if, and when it breaks, then the car is scrap, because to sort a power shift gearbox is always going to be an unviable repair. Stay and talk more shit. Show us your moves. Boaty's bouncy buttocks bumming bravely beyond Birmingham, says Pingu, displaying an admirable talent for alliteration there. No kids here either, says Simone. Too many people on the planet already without me adding to it. Well, that was the other thing. I was never so arrogant as to believe that my genes were so important that they deserved to be passed on. I think there are elements of me that deserve to be passed on, but not necessarily genetic elements. I think I've got a bit of life wisdom that... Well, let's not go down that road. I'll just say that when I look back at all of my stepkids, then I can honestly say that I was nothing but positive for them, and I firmly believe that both they and their mothers would say the same thing. They'll say lots of awful things about me, potentially. Some of them might be true. But in terms of being a father figure or being a stepdad, I flatter myself that that is the one thing in my life that I properly nailed. Because I was so terrified of not nailing it that I made more effort than I've ever made in anything else. And it's the least selfish that I've ever been, and the kids came first. And if any of you are thinking about getting into a relationship with somebody who's got kids, if you can't accept that the kids always come first, don't get into that relationship. It will not end well. Oh, no kids for Liz either. Cats ×6 keep you company, not maternal at all. Oh, there's a few of us. Stephen S. Paul, never had any children. Definitely a few of us. Is Monday night happening? If so, needs to be dedicated to the birthday people. Absolutely, quite correct. Cheeseburger. Well said. Mr. Matthew says, slowly getting through your collection capers, Boaty. Great vids. Thank you very much. I fostered a kid once, says Simone. All 4 cans hit him squarely on the back of his head. Right, and now it really is time for me to put my hat on and bid you all a warm and loving good night. So I will put on the hat of goodbyes. Thus, I will take a sip of my wine. I will take a moment to sincerely, from the absolute heart of my bottom, thank you all for being you and for being here and for... Oh, okay, another question. If you could have any classic car, what would it be? Asks Skick. What, if I could only have one? Rover P5B Coupe. There you go. There you go. Have you frozen your wine? No, I haven't got any wine in the freezer, bizarrely. Good night, humans. And Jason says, Mike, never miss an opportunity for a dig. Good lad. Nice work tonight, Mike. Good night all, says Cheeseburger. Thanks, Boaty, for an impromptu. Couldn't help myself. Mustard says shaky. Well, of course you're shaky. You're probably clinging onto your mad vibrator that's going willy-nilly all over the place. You need to get control of that. Take the batteries out. If you can't turn it off, just take the batteries out, man, for heaven's sake. Or make Mrs. Mustard a very happy lady. Thank you, Betty, and good night, says Bad Books. Posh wine for Monday night's birthday members. What a splendid idea. I'm having semi-posh wine tonight because, well, I just fancied it. I fancied a glass of something decent. But let's unleash on Monday night in honour of our members' birthday. I mean, there's just no need for that. You're wearing the hat of goodbye. You've just said nice things. You've got lovely people giving you their time. And all you can do is burp at them. It's not acceptable. It really isn't. You need to have a good hard word with yourself. That's what you need to do. You old tosser. General Cheeseburger says P5B Coupe, Thatcher's choice. And that's actually incorrect. Thatcher's choice was a P5B saloon, not a coupe. More headroom for the big hair. Night everyone, says Simone. Not an RS2000? No. Not a Mark 1 Escort Mexico? No. Or a 2-litre Mark III Cortina GXL? No. Rover P5B. I mean, ideally I'd like to have a few. And I would be torn by a Rolls-Royce Camargue, but I've got an emotional connection with a Rover P5B, and I need to own one before I die. It's important to me for personal reasons. So if I was given the opportunity to have one classic, I would have to say a Rover P5B, so that box was ticked and I could die not exactly happy, but at least not regretting not having owned a Rover P5B. Massive jar of pickled onions. Wrong chat, sauce. I'll take a Rover P4. RFP 557B to be specific. But you're e-test, Boaty, so we don't expect anything more. Okay. I would like a Hillman Hunter, says Simone. Oh, I've got history there. My grandfather ran a series of Hillman Hunters. Oh, Mustard has kindly pinged me to correct himself, and he didn't mean to say that I'm an e-test. Don't worry, Mustard. Words, they can be tricky, chaps. He meant to say that I'm a twat, and I'm sure we would all agree with that. And I think that's a lovely way to end this. Oh, an adventure tiger, why not? I think that's a lovely way to end this little shared moment between us as we stumble into April together. And let's end it by all reflecting on what is an indisputable fact. I am indeed a twat. And on that note, I would like to say good night to Mustard, good night to Mike, good night to Simone, good night to Liz. I won't wish you a happy birthday, you people, because we're going to be here on Monday to do it on the night itself. Perhaps you'll be with us. Good night, Jimmy. Good night, Windy Miller. Good night, Stephen S. Paul. Good night, Skip. Good night, Bad Books. Good night, Cheeseburger. Good night, Mr. Machu. Good night, Pingu. And I think that's about it. Good night to you all. I couldn't love you any more than I do. I'm going to take this hat off now because it's become too silly. And instead, I shall throw it at you. Hey, do you reckon I can get this actually over the phone? What do you reckon? Go on. Yes or no? Gareth Williams, good night to you, sir. Bye, it's been emotional, it certainly has. Oh, God, yeah, the F1. I listened to FP1 and FP2, and I'm looking forward to FP3 and qualies. Alonso was quickest in FP2, but I expect it'll be a Red Bull washout. Right, I'm going for it. What do you reckon, yes or no? Verstappen nailed on. Yeah, probably. Okay, here we go. Wahey! Yay! How awesome am I? How awesome am I? Right, that's it. Get up. Oh, I bombed you. I've done something. What a great shot. Both I and my hat wish you a very happy month of April and good night. Thank you so much.